The detour that changed everything. It was supposed to be a regular Tuesday night. I was driving home from work exhausted and starving with my mind set on the leftover lasagna waiting for me in the fridge. But as I approached the turn onto my street, a thought popped into my head: why not swing by the park first? I have no idea why. I wasn't dressed for a walk, and I certainly wasn't in the mood. But something about the idea tugged at me, and before I knew it, I was driving past my usual turn and heading toward the park a few blocks away. The parking lot was empty when I pulled in. It was eerily quiet except for the faint rustle of leaves in the wind. I stepped out of the car and wandered toward the swings, thinking maybe a few minutes of fresh air would clear my head. That's when I heard a muffled sob coming from the direction of the small footbridge that crossed over a creek. My heart raced. At first, I thought I was imagining things, but then I heard it again, louder this time. I followed the sound and found a young woman sitting on the edge of the bridge, her feet dangling over the water. She looked startled when I approached, like she hadn't expected anyone to be there. "Hey," I said gently, keeping my distance. "Are you okay?" Her eyes filled with tears as she shook her head. "I don't think so," she whispered. I sat down a few feet away and started talking about nothing in particular at first. The weather, the park, even the lasagna waiting for me at home. Slowly, she started to open up. She'd been struggling with depression and felt like she couldn't go on. That night, she'd come to the park with no intention of going back home. We talked for hours. I listened as she poured her heart out, and eventually, I convinced her to let me call someone, a friend she trusted, to come and get her. Before she left, she hugged me and said, "I don't know why you came here tonight, but I think you saved me." I still don't know what compelled me to go to the park that night, but I'll never forget that moment. Sometimes, the smallest, most random decisions can make all the difference in the world.